The Phoenix Suns took down the Inglewood Los Angeles Clippers last night in the new christening of their Intuit Dome. It's a beautiful stadium, and we kind of saw everything we needed to see from the Clippers. They're going to be a solid team, but the James Harden experience as it goes, I mean, he looks scared in the first half, at least last night he does, and then in the third quarter he really turns up and becomes the guy that the Clippers want him to be, and then in the fourth he just crumbles, missing the layup to win the game, and then in overtime he misses the free throw that would have tied the game. So today we're breaking down this Clippers Suns game, and we're also going to explain why you are probably wrong about Bradley Beal. Now, if we break down Bradley Beal's film from the game, this is only what happened in the third quarter. Tyus Jones kicks it out to Bradley Beal, and he's able to slash in for a nice, easy layup. Now, let's move further into the third quarter. We're down 70-65 here. Bradley Beal just able to find some space in the middle of the floor, and Bradley Beal in transition, able to cut inside for an easy lay-in. He was absolutely incredible for the Suns in the third quarter. Now let's move along. His final points of the third quarter come here on this assisted three-point from Monte Morris. Along with that, he also had an assist to Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn's first regular season points of his career. He's going to have an excellent career. You know, we love Ryan Dunn here on this podcast. But we're going to talk about why you're wrong about Bradley Beal. We just broke down his film, and frankly, if the Suns don't have Bradley Beal for this game, they're losing it. That third quarter, he put the team on his back alongside some heavy contributions from Monte Morris and Grayson Allen. But if we don't have Bradley Beal in this game, it's lost. And I've seen a lot of criticism in the last year for Bradley Beal, but last night was not a night where you could criticize his game. Now, I kind of find it interesting how much criticism he gets, because his production's actually fine. Let's look at last year. Bradley Beal, 18.2 points per game, 5 assists, 4.4 rebounds. And I looked at, I believe it was Yahoo Sports, and they had him ranked as the 14th best third option in the entire NBA. So that puts him roughly around the 74th best player in the NBA. And I quite frankly find that a little ridiculous. So let's break down some guys that are also ranked around him. Fred VanVleet was ranked number 13th, higher than Bradley Beal. So 17.4 points. These stats are all from last season, by the way. 8.1 assists, 3.1 rebounds. VanVleet might be slightly better defensively, but he's smaller, so I'm not exactly sure on that. He's worse as a scorer than Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is dealing with two of the premier scorers in basketball and is still able to put up the numbers he is. And Fred VanVleet's contract is actually pretty comparable to Bradley Beal. And then if we take a look at Chris Middleton, who is ranked as the 12th best third option in all of basketball by Yahoo Sports, 15.1 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.2 assists. And you can say, well, he actually might be on par with those guys, and maybe I'd agree with you, but he gets a lot more criticism than any of those guys. I think if you talked to the average NBA fan and said, who do you believe is better, Chris Middleton or Bradley Beal, I would venture to guess that a lot of them would probably say they think Chris Middleton is better, and it's not even close. But Chris Middleton also has an injury history. He barely played for the Bucks last year, and Fred VanVleet has not produced winning basketball in a number of years. So I think it's interesting the stigma around Bradley Beal. And as we look at his stats from last night, 24, 3, and 1, made some big shots in the fourth quarter and overtime to really help solidify this win and ruin the Clippers, not homecoming, but their debut of the stadium. He was able to help ruin that alongside Kevin Durant. Devin Booker did not play great last night. He was kind of turning it up in the fourth quarter, but he was really complacent. Offense felt kind of weird when he was playing. He was way too pass. He was trying to pass it too much, but I think that's just, first game jitters. It's his 10th year. I know he's going to be better than that going forward. He's one of the best players in the NBA along with Kevin Durant. So I'm not too worried about him or his production at all. Some other guys that produced really well in this game is Grayson Allen. I mean, him and Royce O'Neal are going to be fighting for minutes this year. Now, in Royce O'Neal's minutes, he was a plus 14. Most of those came in the fourth quarter when he was playing over Nurkic because Nurkic had made some bad decisions earlier in the game. And then Grayson Allen was only a plus 2, but overall probably contributed just a little bit more. Royce O'Neal a little better defensively. And then it was great to see both of the rookies out there, Iguodala and Ryan Dunn, both played well considering they are rookies. I think Budenholzer, especially just because it's the first game of the season, he made that lineup. He played a lot of players. Okay, 11 of the 13 players that dressed, I believe Bol and Damian Lee were the only guys who didn't dress for the Phoenix Suns. So everybody played. Budenholzer's trying to figure out what he has here. I think a lot of the guys actually showed a decent amount in this. Mason Plumlee looked okay. Monte Morris looked good at times. And then Tyus Jones looked like a dog. I mean, he had, how many assists did he have? 8 assists, 0 turnovers, taking us back to the Chris Paul days here in the Valley. So overall, I was extremely happy with what we got from all the role players and from Kevin Durant. Outside of the second and third quarter, Kevin Durant was pretty good. But without Bradley Beal, this game is not won by the Phoenix Suns. And I think people need to understand that, Bradley Beal, he's an interesting player, right? He's in a different phase of life than most NBA players. And so a lot of people can't really resonate with him. He's not a young guy. And, Kevin Durant's not a young guy either, but he acts like one. He's always out clubbing. And Bradley Beal's he's a family man. He has a wife. He has kids. And he's just on a different type of time than Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And so I think that leads a lot of people to think maybe he's unhappy in Phoenix. But overall, from what I've seen from him this offseason and the buy-in to that third option role that it was kind of difficult for him to merge into, I think I've seen enough towards the end of last season, not counting that playoff series, but every single Phoenix Sun played bad in that playoff series. So outside of that playoff series, the end of the season, and what I've seen from him through his media and just in this first game, it seems like he's totally bought in. And you're most likely wrong about what Bradley Beal can do for the Phoenix Suns this year.